Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, and welcome to a new video here on XRP. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all having a great week so far, and welcome to this. We're going to do a full deep dive here on XRP again. Some unfortunate news. Yesterday Bitcoin pulled back quite aggressively. Within range, so it's not major. But Bitcoin did pull back, as you can see, over the course of kind of in between sessions, right? So after the US session had closed, Bitcoin pulled back, XRP pulled back as well. And one thing that's notable about this is that it seems like XRP BTC during this time actually pulled back as well. And so here you can see this is bad news. All right, because we had quite a good thing going on over the course of Sunday, Monday. But now we've lost the uptrend. All right, so we had a chance from strong support, as you can see right here. We had a chance to we already broke out, but then also after that breakout to hold some sort of an uptrend in XRP BTC, which is obviously what you want, because then regardless of what Bitcoin does, XRP can actually remain relatively stable and potentially even trend up. And we saw yesterday when XRP BTC broke that uptrend we were trying to form, and Bitcoin fell back, then XRP is going to overreact to that. And that is what I think happened. We dropped down below this intraday support level around 2.25. I thought it was most likely that would hold, but that's also what I said, looking at the XRP BTC chart. And I would say that the price action we saw from that was a little bit surprising, to say the least, but yeah, so we dropped down below that, and now we have a little bit of an imbalance here to the downside, which we are trying to fill. That's between 2.21 and 2.18, and then obviously we have a very strong support level more towards 2.16 and 2.15. So do I expect us to all of a sudden crash? No, I think it's quite likely that Bitcoin is going to continue pushing down into 94, maybe 93,600 again, from the current price levels. So that's going to push XRP down as well, because even though XRP BTC is losing strength, XRP itself is obviously still quite correlated to Bitcoin, right? So it's going to follow it, and technically right now it's also most likely will push down. And there's also no real momentum when we take a look at the open interest, when we take a look at the volume. There's no real reason to suspect that the XRP is all of a sudden going to reclaim support, because that is what we want to do, right? We want XRP to reclaim this support between 2.26 and 2.25. But what you need is either a very strong market, which, like I said, we could see a very strong market, right? That is a possibility. So you should take that into account. But at this point of time, we have no indication of that happening. And I would even say, after hitting the top of the range right here for Bitcoin, it's most likely that the market is going to pull back a little bit lower. But it's on the lower time frames, it's very choppy. But then even if Bitcoin pushes up, because of XRP BTC being weak, I have no guarantee that XRP is going to be able to break out here. And like I said, momentum is also not very high, so I have to assume short term that we already retested 2.25, 2.26. Maybe we'll do that again, but that slowly we will drop down into that level between 2.18, 2.16, fill the imbalance. Find support from there, and that from that support we have a chance to reclaim that level again if we actually do see some renewed strength from XRP BTC or from Bitcoin itself. I'd say that's most likely. And if we do not see that coming in, all right, if Bitcoin breaks down below 93,600 for example, then we have a problem, and I'll keep you updated on that. But then we could extend this entire move down to 2.08 and 2.06 again. So just be aware of that. I'll keep you updated on that, of course. For now, I'd say it's most likely that we'll get this pullback. We'll hold support. Maybe we get a bit of a fake out below 2.15, 2.16. That's fine. But that's what I expect. A little bit more bearish momentum into stability, and then from that stability, based on what we see from XRP on its own, but also from the markets as a whole, we can decide direction. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for today. I want to wish you all a great Wednesday. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.